Hey guys, JH. Welcome to Practice Tee. I've come down this part of the range today. There's not a lot of... It gets really busy here and people get here and they come over and drive me nuts, but it's actually, it looks like it must be lunchtime or something because there's hardly anyone here. Okay guys, what I want to do is, again, continuing on with the theme of these videos, something that really is important to me, which I indicated yesterday on yesterday's video, and that is the preload for me with the shoulders. And if I can get it actually preloaded to that extent there, which looks absolutely bizarre, I would agree looking at it. And people say, wow, that looks really crazy. But if you think about where I am there, all I am there in actual fact is where I'm going to be at the top of my backswing, or close to that. I won't in the actual swing have my shoulders turn that much, but it is my endeavour to try and get them to turn that much. So optimally for me, I'd love to get my shoulders here, because guys, that's where they are at the top of the swing. Look. So it looks crazy there because my hands are down, but it doesn't look crazy when my hands are up at the top of the swing, which they are at the top of the swing clearly. So it looks bizarre and it will feel bizarre. But the advantages for me, and the knock-on effect is profound. All I do is essentially just have a pull back and a lift up with my arms in the backswing. I don't have to worry about weight transference or turning my shoulders because they're already done. Okay, there may be a little bit, a minimalistic amount that I add to my preset position, but it's not much. As I say, I won't get into that degree of turn there that I've got there. I would love to. I would absolutely love to. But that's where I want to be here. Now the advantage, the other real advantage for me is that it gives me tremendous directional positioning of the golf club in the channel on the backswing, because it's already predisposed to go there, guys. If I'm here with square shoulders, the club is in front of my shoulders and it's basically in a side-to-side orientation. But if I turn my shoulders here, it's in front of my shoulders here, but my shoulders are in that channel. And that's the advantage. That's the real advantage of this for me. It just gets me in the channel really, really quickly in the backswing. Now the guys here are doing some work here. We're just taking out some turf here and putting it out on the golf course, so they might be back in a moment, so I'll have to rush through this a little bit. And people will start to turn up. So I haven't hit any shots, guys. But what I'm working on is trying to get that. Now as soon as I get that, see how I've got this configuration here, which was the old channel lock configuration in the old days when we had the open stance, and then we configured into here. We ended up with this. We ended up with the right arm, or the trail arm, and the trail leg in line. And that's where I want to be at all times. So in order to get that, I've got to have some of this orientation in my lead arm. Now I'm not saying that you people need to do this. This is just what I'm doing to optimize my channel lock protocol. And I've gone back to some of the things that I had initially in channel lock, and I filtered out for maybe just evolutionary reasons, that they were just dropping out along the way. But I've had a look at them subsequent to them dropping out and thought, well, you know, they need to go back in. And the thing that really needs to go back in is this positioning of this of this preset of the shoulders here. Absolutely vital here. Now look at it, guys. It looks crazy and looks bizarre there. It doesn't look bizarre there, does it? So if you can actually get your shoulders turned at address, what a great facility that is. Now the other thing, of course, is that it gets the hips rotating a little bit, and it gets the weight into that trail side at address. We don't have to wait for that to happen in the course of a normal swing. Like, it's not positioned there at the moment because it's got to get there as we go back, but it's got to be an advantage to have it already there, guys, hasn't it? I mean it's got to be. I mean that's just the logic of mechanics and application here. I noticed yesterday when I had that striped shirt on, my wife said, "You look fat in that shirt." John, she calls me. I'm not fat, but I do like to have the shirts loose, and particularly, you know, golf shirts. Because I said yesterday, she said, look like you put on 30 pounds in one session. I'm not. That was the shirt. It's like that commercial when the girl has the dress on or the pants, and she looks at her husband and says, does that make my bottom look big? And of course, Valor being the worst thing you can have in a response to that, the husband says nothing. No, darling, it doesn't. Okay, so here we are. Here. We're pre-cocked. There's the first shot of the day, guys. First shot of the day. Just blitzed. And again, I've had a pretty solid workout this morning, so I'm stiff. And as I said on the other video, guys, I've got to have maybe 200-300 ball sessions to ingrain the grip and these other things that I'm working on. Now Bill Phillips was saying on MMI Golf yesterday, and I concur with what he was saying. But he was saying that, you know, if you want to have your palm grip strong over here and have this trail hand under here, and have the radius and ulnar bones in that configuration there, so we can actually fire it sideways as a feeling. If we were going to hammer a nail into something here, we would fire it that way. We wouldn't do it that way, would we? We'd come in like that. Now if you want to do that, and you want to have that radius and ulnar bone in that configuration there instead of on top of one another here, it's okay to do that, but you're going to have to configure that trail arm more like that, with palm facing up and the club essentially in the palm there. Now that really is a hammering action there. Now I have no problems with that at all. It's hard for me because I've got little short fingers, and I've got these ones here that in the race car accident where I cut off parts of these bottom fingers here, so I don't have a lot of grip with those. So it's hard for me to get under there because I lose the grip with the trail fingers. But guys, there's no reason why you can't get it in the palm and get it under here, which Johnny Miller used to call the Harley Davidson grip, which is a super strong grip, which brum 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 brum. No reason why you can't do that, and that will feel strong. I mean, Paul Azinger was under there in a conventional golf swing. Azinger was under here. Zach Johnson under here. Super ball strikers, and very accurate ball strikers. So yeah, well, what Bill was saying about that, about getting that radius and ulnar bones in a different configuration here, and that's reverse winding, guys. That's part of that makes it really easy to reverse wind. If you get the ulnar bones in that configuration there, you can really reverse wind it on the downswing here. Very easy. Hard to do that when those two bones are on top of each other in a vertical position as opposed to a horizontal position. So what you advocated there, Tinker Bill, I concur with, my friend, as I do with everything you suggest. Bill Phillips, for anybody in the US, guys, or anywhere really, but primarily if you're in the US, you've got to get over and see that guy, because him and Matt Gray, they're the two guys that are the master teachers in, well, Bill's a master teacher in the US, and Matt Gray they're great knowledgeable people relative to channel lock. And if you get a chance to go and see them, they're very much hands-on guys. They will put hands on you guys and put you in position, and there's no substitute for that. I've done that my whole life. I've just always got people and put them in the position where they should be and say, guys, that's what you got to do, that's what you got to feel. How does that feel? And they say, wow, that's entirely different to what I thought you were extolling when you were verbally mentioning that to me. So the advantages of hands-on teaching, guys, is profound. So here we are here. We're here, weights in that trail side. Away we go. Away we go, as Jackie Gleason would say. And I'm as stiff as a crutch, as we say out here. They're just bounding out there. Bounding billies. Bounding billies. Come on, Jade. Wow, that's a bounding billy. My goodness, okay, it took 4 shots to get it. And guys, I still haven't done there's no wind today. Can't believe it. Hurricane Hannah yesterday, no wind today. Amazing. But it's hot, it's 30 degrees Celsius. And down this part of the range, that's why I don't come down here most of the time. There's no air down here, the trees just block it out. Up there in the cow paddock, we don't have these trees up there. Come on, get the shoulder around here, Joe. Now guys, by doing that, getting the shoulder, look what happens here. Pushes my hips around, pulls my right foot back, trail foot back, gets that lead knee kicked in a little bit. And I don't have a lot of lower body movement because I'm a high torque swinger. I have a lot of resistance in my hips and lower body and stomach and what have you. I don't sort of let everything break down. I get here and I'm really a tight little swinger. It just feels nice. Come on, turn it here. You can get lots of zip, guys. That's the thing I like. Lots of zip. It's amazing. And that's the thing I like about channel lock, which I keep saying all the time, is that you can come out dead cold and you can get a good result. With the exception of the last shot, none of those were 100% timed, but they were between 80% and 90%, and they're acceptable and they would be on the green. They're just up and down the blade a little bit because the timing is not there because they're early swings. Here. Wow, that was timed. That was timed. So guys, yeah, I just wanted to reiterate the importance of try and get a bit of pre-turn. Now you'll see that clearly I haven't got as much pre-turn in the swing as I say that I have in the demonstration. The demonstration I'm here, but in the golf swing I don't have that much. But it does give me a nice feeling of setting the golf swing in motion. And it's good to be hitting off some decent grass instead of the 3-inch crabgrass up in the cow paddock. Guys, I'm getting sunburn already. Can you believe it? Already. I'll try and take it back a little bit further now. Come on, big turn. There it is, guys. Wow. Wow, this has gone so far. Okay, just to recap, because the boys are coming back here and going to be cutting turf. Get the preset here because this is where we are at the top of the swing, so why not already get there? I've already got this in here, got a little bit of load into the trail heel. The advantages is that it lets you get in the channel very, very quickly on the backswing. Very, very quickly. And I let it bleed out of my channel lock, but and that's just because I had a lot of other things going on, but I'm now back. Relative to getting the good things that I've developed into my own protocol. You guys don't have to do this, but to me I just find it easy. I just find it easy to set the golf swing here. Now you'll feel, with your hands down here and your shoulders turned that much, you'll feel like you're aiming, if you're right-hander, 100 yards right, because your hands are down there. But you wouldn't feel that if your hands were up here. But you will when they're down there, because you'll be looking down at the golf club there. And you'll feel like you're way out here. And you could probably see in some of those videos yesterday that it looked like that. When I was setting up on some of those shots, that I was aimed 100 yards right. But that's only because my shoulders were turned. I wasn't aimed out there at all. As you can see, the balls didn't go out there. But it looked like that. Anyway, guys, that's just a little bit of explanation on preload. Yeah. Preload. Try and keep the pressure in your legs, the bend in your knees. Here. Try and get that feeling. Don't get here and then roll over onto the outside like that. Just keep turning it in. Keep turning that trail hip behind you like that. And if I can get my lead arm bent like that, I'd be very happy. Okay, guys, just a couple of points, but I thought that they needed reiterating from yesterday, because yesterday's conditions were really bad, and I didn't even know if the audio was going to be audible, so that you could actually hear what was going on. Okay, guys, the turf cutters will be back, so I better go up with my friends the cows and do the rest of the videos for today.